Hi everybody, my name is Marta Mama, I'm your basic queer bitch, and I'm here to talk about all the references about Drag Race España Season 3. And this week we have the grand finale, but there's a lot to talk about actually, so yeah, let's get into it. So this episode, we know that the challenge is to write a verse and perform in a music video of Supreme's song Fiebre. And they also have to do the podcast and of course the runway and everything else. So the podcast didn't give us like a lot of new information, you know how it always goes. But well, things that we can talk about is that you can really see in the podcast like Pitita's lack of awareness because she thinks that people started going against her because she started winning everything. And it's like, girl, you haven't even listened to anything that anyone has said. It's not because you were winning, girl. It was even before that third win. But well, you know, all that has nothing to do with actual drag. So I think we can move on with how any of these queens are in social settings. The last day in the workroom was super cute because they all sat in front of the mirror and started saying like wonderful things about each other. I think that what I love the most about Drag Race España are the workroom conversations because they always feel honest. And I think in other franchise you can feel like they're scripted in some way. But here they have like beautiful, honest, true conversations between them every single week and every single episode. The workroom conversations for me have been the best of the 3 seasons actually. So they learned some choreo with Carmelo Segura and, you know, they're being funny. Vania is very funny. And it's true that the 4 of them were in the same group for like week 2 or week 3, the Eurovision challenge. Yeah, they were the Muerta Haris, so they're like Vanya's doing a lot of like this stuff. And I don't know, it was just lighthearted. We can move on. Okay, this music video was actually so good, wasn't it? Like the production, the sets, the backgrounds, the dancers, like everything was so amazing. We're gonna go over each of the queens' verse, but first of all, like I think that you know, this season has been a little bit difficult for us to get through, but we should give credit where credit is due. And this season of Drag Race España has been better in a lot of things. It has been better, like in the overall production. The writing has been a lot better for both like the acting challenges and the improv challenges and the writing in general. The sets, like the actual production this season has been a lot better than the past 2 seasons. We always have very well produced talent shows. We always have like a very well produced music video at the end. But this season has been the best produced season of the 3. The only thing negative that we can actually say about this season is just about the judges' critiques. Everything else about this season has been actually amazing. So this song by Supreme Deluxe, Fiebre, Fever, is from her album that came out in like 2012 or something like that. And it was called Ahora Yo, Now Me, or something like that. And this song is very well known in Spain. In every single gay bar, they still play them all the time. We know this song in Spain. Let's go with these queens' lyrics for Fiebre. First of all, we have Pitita, and her verse said something like top stitch, back stitch, pattern or my life. With this army, there's no drama. Transform your fears and trust. Walk that catwalk. Slowly sow this utopia. Something like that, you know? It was cool, it was cute. She used a lot of like sewing references and yeah. Vania Vainilla's verse said, I'm Vania Vainilla. You're going to have a great time. Lit my fire day by day. Wah! Come to live my fantasy. Vania, I think, did a very good job. Vania never takes herself too seriously, which is something that I truly appreciate from drag queens. So, yeah, nice verse. Kelly's verse said, like, sparkle, extravagance, magnetic and magic, ritual for your emotions, come to shine, so your night can start. Queen of my disco roller. Something like that. So one of the things she says is ritual. Ritual. That's the name of one of her songs, and it's actually the name of one of the like gay resorts where Kelly works in Torremolinos. And yeah, so she tried to put things from her own music throughout her verse, which I think is marketing genius. She can sing. She has studied professionally piano and composition and all that. So this, she can do this. She did a good job. Ornela's verse. I don't know how I'm going to translate this, but I'm going to try. She says, I am the resistance. Ornella appears and breaks you all. She living up. I'm going to give myself to you. You know it. Don't stop. Never giving up is the key. So the first part of the music video was in this very cute set, and then they end up in the main stage with all the dancers and all of the queens that had been eliminated, which was super cute. But it was also very forgiving because you couldn't see who was doing a good choreo or a bad choreo. It was all about the dancers and the other queens. There was no way of actually appreciating who was dancing or doing the song correctly or whatever. There wasn't a lot to look at. But other than that, it was amazing music video. Love the song, love the girls. It was a very good job. Then we have the final runway with their best drag. First out is Vania Vainilla, that has a look that has a dragon here on the shoulder. And one of the reasons for that is probably a pun, because in Spain, you have the word dragon, dragón. And of course, in Spain, that word is gendered. You can have a dragón, would be a male dragon, and you can have a dragona, would be a female dragon. And since drag queen is such a foreign word for us, many times when we talk about drag queens, we just talk about dragonas, like female dragons, because it's a word that we can all understand and is part of our language, but it also talks about drag queens, So there is a little pun there. Again, all red from head to toe. She looks like Vania Vainilla, Then Pitita comes out with this huge coat. She said that this is museum worthy, that this was 200 pieces patchwork together in negatives. So in some you have the white background with the black flower, and in other ones it's the black background with the white flower, and that she patchworked that all together and made this coat thing. I think it's cute. That's a lot of work. If you know how to sew, this is a lot of work, but it's not this is a 200 piece pattern. It's just that you created one fabric, patchworking different, the same fabric, but reversing it, and after that you made your pattern. But she makes it feel like the most complicated sewing that has ever happened. It is very well sewn and very well produced, but I think it is very similar with the volumes and the style to everything that we've seen from Pitita. Just like Vania, this is classic Pitita. I think no one was really wowed by this. Her earrings were chandeliers. I like that. She had huge rings as well. And the hair, Pitita's hair is not usually very, very amazing. and her hair was black and super big. But you know how sometimes Queen would take concealer and draw in a line on their part on the head? Well, since Pitita's wig is so big, she painted her part, but it goes like up like this, and it looks like her head goes up to like here because she painted a line of concealer like right up here. I don't know, that was annoying me, but I think that, you know, Pitita is always going to bring nice looks, good fashion. It wasn't the best makeup, you know, she has her hand, the thing with the hair, but of course Pitita is always going to give amazing looks. Kelly Roller's look, you know, this look was just ugly in my opinion. She didn't look that bad, like we've seen worse from Kelly Roller, but Kelly Roller is not about having amazing looks, so I just love her no matter what she wears. This is just overall like ugly. It doesn't fit very well, and I don't like the construction of the skirt. I don't like the choker that she's wearing. It makes it look a lot cheaper. There's a lot of things about that, but she is wearing something on the runway, and you know, Los Javis don't care about what she's wearing. The judges don't care about any of that, so why should I care? Ornella, in my opinion, was the best on the runway. You know, I'm Team Ornella all the way, and I will always be. And she has like an 80s inspired pantsuit, but in a like weird fashiony way. I loved all these references. I think that she was referencing Rocío Jurado, who is actually the artist that they chose for the final lip sync. And not only Rocío Jurado, but also her daughter. There was a huge documentary here in Spain where Rocío Jurado's daughter talked about DA that she had suffered from her ex-husband. And throughout the whole documentary, she was wearing like a pink fuchsia pantsuit. So I don't know, I love this. I love that she was wearing red nails with this. You have to be very ballsy to wear red nails with a fuchsia pantsuit, but it gives it like the 80s vibe 100 times better with like the red lips. The only thing, maybe I would have put the weight of the wig through the other side, so parting your wig like on the other side, because it was very heavy on one side and very light on the other. That's the only thing I may say about this look, actually. I think she looked amazing. So for the judges' critiques, or may we say the alternate reality that the judges create in their minds, Vania Vainilla's biggest struggle was herself and not trusting in herself and all that. But she is the best exponent of traditional drag in Spain. That's what they said, basically. Pitita, all they say is absolutely amazing and brilliant. She's always a star. She makes everyone emotional. She's good at everything. You know how it goes. With Kelly, it's always like, oh, we don't care what she wears. She is iconic. Her bad looks are iconic, which is true. Like, I've defended Poopy Poison having terrible looks. You know, for me and for Spain, drag has nothing to do with the looks or how drag works here. You know, if you go to a drag bar in a different country, it works different. Like, what people do in their shows is different. And here, it's not always about the looks, so I understand what they mean. It's just that it is true that maybe she can take it to a more comedic route and be a lot more intentional about how bad some of the things are. But yeah, that's what they said about Kelly. Iconic. And about Ornella, girl, I was screaming at my TV because Los Javis were like, yeah, she has done a very good race, but she never went like all the way. There was always like something missing, and I think that she was like stepping on the brakes a little bit, like she wasn't able to go. Like, I don't understand why the reason is that she never got her moment and got to go the whole way. And I'm like, you are the reason. You cannot tell Ornella to her face, oh, the best thing about you is that you never give up. You always do everything like 100%. You're always so passionate about everything. And the moment she walks out, you say, yeah, she didn't really get her moment. It looked like she was giving up, like she was stepping on the brakes a little bit. Like, which one is it? Which one is it? Because what I think is that you never appreciated her talent and you never gave her her moment, which she had in the Snatch game, for example, or in other challenges. I thought that she was going to win. I thought she was going to win the musical. I thought she was going to win many other challenges. Just like we can say about Clover Bish, Paquita, like many others. Are you going to understand that it wasn't her, the one that wasn't able to get it like all the way? It was these two. So after all that, let's go with the looks of the eliminated queens. And let's start with Maria Idilia. Maria Idilia chose like a futuristic look because she thinks that her drag is always evolving and she will be learning forever. So she chose like a futuristic look to represent like the always learning thing about drag. Drag Chuchi chose a very amazing example of Canary Island drag where it's all about androgyny. It's not about like looking like a princess or a queen. Canary Island drag has really nothing to do with female impersonation, and this is a great example. This was created by her partner Kilian Atelier and has an amazing headpiece that like opens in different parts. I think this look was super cool. I love Chuchi. Chanel Anorex had a beautiful, beautiful black gown. I love the gown. I loved her, the hair. But I don't know why she decided to paint like lines here to make like the ribs, the skeleton. I did not like that part. If you're going to do like the rib cage, do it in a more like realistic way. It was giving Nina Brown, but the gown was actually very amazing. Chanel always says that you don't have to be like glamorous to be a drag queen. That's what she always talks about. So, but it was actually nice looking at this like more glamorous side of Chanel. Macarena, one of the best dresses that we see tonight. This dress is by David Moss, and she looks absolutely stunning. 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 Visa's look, this is one of the ones that she had to make in the house after she was eliminated. So I think it's super cool. She always brings like her Mexican roots with like this hair that the indigenous people wear. Love it. Pinchadora with this beautiful like cotton candy look, and this is by Santiago Zambrana, and it looks amazing. Yes, it is just like a corset bodysuit with like a cape, but it is a very well constructed one. I really, really, really like this corset and how good it looks on her. Paquita was the real star this episode, you guys. This dress is by Rafael Garges, and this was a gift from all of her sisters. And I just think that she was one of the most beautiful creatures in the universe, to be honest. I love that she decided to go with like this gift from all of her drag sisters, from her drag family, Las Niñas. Because if you know them, if you're a fan of them, and they're very well known in Spain, you can see that almost every single Paquita look, even the one that she constructed herself, is like paying homage to one specific sister. Like the look in the reunion last week was from her sister Agua de Barbate. Like every single look is like a recreation of her sisters. It's like paying homage to one of her sisters. And I thought that's like so wholesome, and yeah, I love everything about this dress, everything about Paquita, and everything about the family, of course. Bestia's look was very cool, but I'm just over the thing in the mouth. I just do not like it anymore. It loses the effect once you've seen it once or twice and it's overdone. But other than that, she looked very good. And this look by Clover Bish, I mean, this is a finalist look. I am so devastated that Clover wasn't in the final because this look was everything. She's paying homage to her Cuban roots, and this is an Orisha, a spirit from the Yoruba religion. in Cuba. And this is the orisha of like fresh water and love and sensuality. And she's called Oshun. And she's representing all of that. I think this look was absolutely amazing. And I'm very sad that Clover didn't get to be in the final. But you know, it's always good if you don't win the crown, but win the crowd. So we get to know that only 2 queens are going to do the final lip sync. The first year it was the 3 of them. Last year, from the 4 finalists, 3 did the lip sync because Marina, they said, oh, you can stay in the back, Marina. And this year, from the 4 contestants, you have 2 doing the lip sync. So those were obviously Pitita and Mania Vainilla. And you know, you guys, and the Rant Pack especially, I've been saying this since like week 5. Yeah. So no surprise there, but you know, shout out to Kelly that, you know, Kelly did nothing wrong. Kelly has always been like super positive. I don't think that her drag is for Drag Race specifically, but it is a true representation of drag in a lot of places in Spain. And I know that her drag is maybe not for me as an audience, but she did her best this season, and I'm proud of her, and I'm proud of her career. And Ornella, I love Ornella so much. I think she's one of the best things that has happened to this season. I'm very sad that we weren't able to celebrate her talent more. And she was, after Paquita was gone and Clover too, she was my absolute favorite. She is one of the most interesting artists that I have gotten to know through Drag Race. Let's go to the final lip sync. So the song is Punto de Partida by Rocío Jurado. Okay, let's recap a little bit about Rocío Jurado. She was, because she passed away many years ago, one of the best well-known singers with this amazing voice, and she used to sing like Spanish music, actually. If you have watched La Veneno, if you can remember, Paca la Piraña had a little altar with like candles and pictures and something because she was praying for her favorite singer that was very sick. That was Rocío Jurado. There's another scene in Veneno where Rocío Jurado has actually passed away, and this is the artist that Paca la Piraña used to play when she was younger. So if you're familiar with Veneno, you should be familiar with Rocío Jurado a little bit. This song is like a rock ballad sang by a like flamenco Spanish song singer. In this period of time, they were doing a lot of like rock songs in fusion with any other styles. So yeah, this is a beautiful, very intense, very emotional song. And both Pitita and Vania, honestly, for almost all of the song, gave me nothing. Vania was doing kind of okay, but it was a little bit emotionless. The best thing was when she lit up the little dragon in her bodysuit, and it started like breathing fire, and that was like very, very cool, very cool. Pitita, well, she was trying to give the emotion. I don't think she got there, actually. I don't know if she had a reveal that was like a wardrobe malfunction or if she didn't, but she just takes off her belt and Los Javis go crazy like, ooh, and it's like she just took off her belt and she did nothing afterwards. I didn't like this lip sync from any of these 2 queens. And then Pitita just, I don't know if it was a ring or like an earring or something, but in the last second of the song, she grabs something in her hand and she just lets go and it falls, but we never get to know what it was. I don't know, that was weird. The winner for this lip sync was actually Paquita in the back row, giving us everything that we needed for the song. I don't know if when they chose this song, they were thinking about Paquita probably being in like the top 2 doing this lip sync, but that would have been amazing. She actually posted on all of her social media a video of her lip syncing to the song with this beautiful dress by Rafael Garces. So if you want to go watch that, follow Paquita on all her social media. Of course you do already. Okay, you guys, and this is the craziest thing ever. So you know, the lip sync finishes, everyone's very excited. Supreme comes out and says, "Bring me my crown," and Sharon comes out and says, "Oh, yeah, Drag Race España is one of the most like beloved franchises internationally," and I'm like, "It was." And they start saying like a lot of things, and then it comes to the moment where Supreme says, like, the next Spanish drag superstar is... Okay, if you were watching this live in Spain, what happened is that Supreme said, like, "And the winner is..." Build up tension and silence, like, chin chin, chin chin, chin chin. And then they cut. Episode finished. They didn't crown anyone. We were like, and it was already like commercials and like the next show that they were going to air, and it was like, what happened? Who won? Like, no one won. Like, are we going to know that next week? Or is this a mistake? Is this happening to everybody? Is this my Atresplayer account? What is going on? And then we got to Twitter to know what was happening, and we get to know that everyone internationally had seen who had won, but we haven't. So if you were watching it live, you got to know who won before all of us. Well, actually, we all know who was winning like 4 or 5 weeks ago, but yeah, instead of giving like Atresmedia the final version, they gave them like the final version without saying the winner. You know, they surely have like several files because they film several endings, so they just gave them the one where no one wins, and they just cut there, and it was chaos. When we get to know that people internationally have seen it, what we did was like close the live and then go to the episode as a regular episode, and in the episode you could see the winner. But it was like a good 10 minutes of chaos. I was only thinking about the people working in Atresmedia screaming. I'm sure that there was a lot of people very, very angry, but you know, it was kind of iconic. I was just thinking about all the viewing parties all around Spain who were watching this. This is an example of what we lived when they were going to announce the winner, thanks to Jose. So that was crazy, but yes, obviously the winner is Pitita, and I think it's one of the hardest decisions because they have put the season in a place where that was the only possibility, which is never good because you don't engage where you already know what's going on. And they have crowned someone that, even though she actually deserves it, she doesn't have enough people rooting for her for this to be a good decision. It was not the top 4 that it needed to be. So any decision made at this point was going to be a bad decision. I'm very sorry for everyone that has worked behind of the cameras, because it's not everyone's fault. Because if you take everything into account, except for the judges' critiques, everything else has been excellent this season. So I'm very sad that just the judges' decision, or how they wanted to conduct the judges' decision, I don't know whose fault it is, but everything else about this season was very, very, very good. So congratulations to Pitita. I wish that the show had done you better, and I wish that you had more fans that you actually have, because you actually deserve your fans. If I was participating in Drag Race España, I wouldn't like to be in her shoes. They announced the tour, El Gran Hotel de las Reinas, but there is some tea here because they've announced every single queen except for Kelly Roller. Like, the tour is going to be the 12 queens except Kelly. And there are several theories about why this is. Probably because she works the whole summer in Torremolinos and she doesn't really need to tour. She's not going to make more money or be more comfortable than in Torremolinos. But they also say that it's because the hate that she has been receiving, which I think is absolutely unfair. You guys, you cannot go hate on Kelly Rowland. Like, she's always like positive and funny, and like it's not her fault that she's there, right? So it may be because of just like she has work already in Torremolinos. It may be because of the hate. Some people say it was because of the money. Like, they didn't agree on how much money everyone was getting. So, well, yeah. El Gran Hotel de las Reinas this year will have only 12 out of the 13 queens, and it's going to be different. So instead of being the usual show that we have seen in season 1 and season 2, it's going to have like a mystery. It looks like it's going to be some type of musical, probably. And I can tell you there's going to be a lot less dates and less shows than in any of the other 2 tours, or at least the ones that they have announced right now are like half or a third than the ones that they did last year, which I think is a very good decision, like business-wise. I also wanted to ask you if you want me to cover Drag Race Mexico. I haven't even watched the first episode yet. I haven't watched anything. But I don't know if I should cover it or not, because first of all, I'm not going to get any of the references. I can like investigate a little bit, but I'm not going to get the references. It's just going to be basically like my opinion and what I think and whatever. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. And it may not be as absolutely regular, like every single Tuesday or every single Monday or whatever. It's going to be whenever I have a day off and I can actually film. Would you guys be interested in that? I'm not sure. I want to thank everyone that has sent me any type of support through here, everyone that has subscribed, liked my videos, joined in like the live premieres of my videos, everyone that has sent me PayPals. Thank you to the people that sent me PayPals last week. Thank you to Paisley, to Beth, Thomas, thank you to German, thank you to Jessie, and thank you to Rachel. Thank you guys very much. If you do want to support my channel, if you want to send me any encouragement to do Drag Race Mexico, you have my PayPal account down below. I truly appreciate it. Give me some advice about what to do with Drag Race Mexico. And I want to thank you all for sticking with the season. I know it hasn't been what we were all expecting, but it was a lot easier going through the trauma with all of you guys and knowing that I wasn't crazy and I wasn't being like all negative and stuff. That it was something that at least, you know, if you're gonna not have the best time, it's better to do that in company. So thank you very much. Thank you to the Rant Pack. Thank you to my sister reviewers, Paridi Paradise and Emily Goes. Thank you to all the reviewers and podcasters and everything. There is going to be an All-Star season. I cannot tell you when exactly, but the All-Star season, they told us that it was filming right before this season aired. So I don't think that they're going to be able to understand the critiques that we all have in order to improve the All-Stars. So probably the All-Stars is going to be similar to this. I hope not. I hope not. There's a lot of people that I want to see in the All-Stars. So yeah, I'm for sure going to be covering that. So you have my social media down below. I'm gonna miss you guys. Thank you all for this season. I love you all. I love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Stay queer.